I'm going to be calling you a radical. I got to get this up because, as you know, Jerrick Harding, I say, is the greatest player who ever played here. And when Kevin Blanch says you're the greatest player who ever played here, you're the greatest player who ever played here. Sorry. I told Damian Lillard that to his face. I told Eddie Gill that. And he goes, yeah, I'm with you. I wish Eddie would have got the job here or the graffiti. So I pay attention to these guys. So what he's doing right now, so you gotta watch what he's doing. I watch all his stuff. Of course, he was the MVP in that Czech league over there, but that's a whole different. He's with the big dogs now. He's playing in the top. This league is as good as any league in the world. This Spain league that he plays in, they're deep in the playoffs. He put up 41 on the 18th. Before that, he hit a buzzer beater to win the game at the buzzer, but put up 41 in that league? That's like putting up 90 in a freaking NBA game. Oh, they'll knock your teeth out in that league. You don't get over open looks in that Spain league. 41's unheard of in a playoff. Absolutely unheard of. How the fuck is he not in the NBA? So, same with, I've been on this campus since the 60s. I watched all the greats play, all of them. Nemhart, freaking Eddie Gill, Harold Arsenault, the show, Damian Lillard, Justin Thigpen, Willie Sojourner. I watched them all. I knew when he played here. I did the play-by-play. I knew Jerrick personally very well. It's Jerrick Harding. I knew it. So, same with Rashid Shaheed. I knew it from the beginning. I was there the whole time. So, homemade, because I don't buy their slave made. So, now, I don't know if the uniforms in Spain are made by the slavery complex Chinese supply chain Weber States promotes. I don't know. But I want one of those red uniforms, the 3, or I'll have to make my own. So, you got to watch. He's going crazy. He's just blazing it up there in the playoffs, and they're just, he's unbelievable. He's the MVP over there. How the fuck? Well, same with Rashid. These scouts, I'm in their face constantly. So I used to tell Jerrick all the time, Jerrick could have scored a 50 anytime he wanted in here. I had a conversation before that in the library. It's online. Before the Montana guys, your time to shine, man. You got to go. He put 25 in the first half. He owns every record Weber State ever had. Nobody pays attention. I told him when he was young in here. So the first time I saw him play here, got to go with that left, Jerrick. So he gets in a game. He's a freshman. The court goes from here to there. And he gets in. And it's late in the game, but it's still competitive. It's still a game where they're doing their thing. It's not just all scrubs. He comes in and it comes along. He comes this way along here. Dribble drives. Kicks it. They kick it to him in the corner. He pump fakes. Comes along the baseline like this. Goes up in the air with his left. Spins all the way around with his right. And lays it in. And I'm like, so fast, make your head spin. I'm like, oh. I knew right then. I knew that second. I was like, holy shit. I knew what he was. I remember when they were recruiting him. And, they talk about recruiting. The only reason he came here, I'll tell you straight up, my favorite player was Damian Lillard. That's why I came here. And they couldn't win with Jerrick Harding. Don't even get me going on that. But same with Rashid Shaheed. I knew the second. These are superstars, mega superstars. When you're talking the best players who ever played here, and they're both here on the campus, and these stupid fucking scouts don't even give them the time of day. I told Jerrick one day, because he's the great lefty. I says, you remind me, I'm old enough to remember, because Phil Johnson, who coached here, coached the great Tiny Archibald. Tiny Archibald, Nate Archibald, is one of the greatest players in basketball history, bar none. And I says, you remind me so much of him. You wear tan. Is that why you picked tan? And he just went on a dissertation. He knew basketball history like no other. I'm like, well, Oh, so how the fuck is he not in the NBA? I was in San Diego, tide pooling. And when I'm walking up OB, I'd been in the OB tide pools, documenting tide pools. And I'm walking up and the summer league, and I'm trying to pay attention on what he's doing with Dallas in the summer league this year. And right as I walk over, I'm looking at one of the bars, because they're all open. And I'm like, oh shit, that's Dallas playing the summer league. We got to go in there, Peter. Come on, come on. What are you talking? You shut the fuck up. We're going to go in there. I don't care what kind of food we're eating in here. They got the Mavericks summer game on. Right as we walked in, he hits that buzzer beater. I'm like, ho, 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 ho. And so the same with Rashid. What Rashid was able to do here, they never kicked Rashid. You got no love. Fucking the scouts, the NFL scouts are fucking morons. Rashid Shaheed, he could be the best player in the NFL. Well, I'll challenge anybody on this. He's the fastest player in the NFL. I'm telling you, I watched some of these great. I watched Cooper Kupp and TJ go at it. He's way more than, and Cooper Kupp, I knew he was all that at Eastern Washington. Rashid's way better. Way better. Lillard, good as he is, Jerrick Hardy's better. I'm telling. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. And, hope Jerry gets this championship, but how the fuck's he not in the NBA? He'd destroy him in the NBA. I remember talking to him right here. One day I was come through the tunnel. I was doing the play-by-play then. And I walked over and he's standing in the tunnel after the game. I'm like, Jerrick, don't be afraid of Europe. I says, if they offer you that big fat freaking, don't do what Jeremy Sieglin and Joe. And by the way, I love Joe Bollenboy and Jeremy Sieglin. Joe Bollenboy sued BAT in Russia. As she's entering, Brittany Griner's entering, Joe Bollenboy left 2 weeks earlier. Read what he said. Tall African-American center in Moscow. You don't take no shit. Dangerous business, right? Oh boy, he left 2 weeks. Brittany's agent should have kept her out. They were saying, and he sued BAT over there, Moscow. You should read what he said. He just goes on. You're going to treat people like that? Joe Bombo says, you're going to intimidate and threaten people? No, not me, you're not. And so Bollenboy and Sieglin both went in the NBA supplemental draft. And I'm like, don't do that. You're just going to waste your fucking NBA. The NBA is a sports merchandising company. They're not a league. You're pro basketball, I told him. It's big time. You'll make plenty of money over there. And the lifestyle, I've spent enough of my life over there that you will absolutely love it. Don't be afraid of it. Go ahead. And he says, yeah. He says, the tax situation. And he already knew. I says, if they give you that big, you take it. Of course, the COVID thing. And then Michael Kozak was his friend. Played on the same team for all those years, was Czech, and so Rashid, when he made the practice squad, was that close to being in tears. That's how close he came to not even playing in the NFL. I used to ask Rashid all the time, what's your 40? Constantly, he'd laugh at me. I told you, I've never been time to, why are you always fucking with me, Rashid? I always talk. He did a vlog recently. He's out on a vlog yesterday with the NFL. And anyway, he's training in Chula Vista, and that's where he's from. But, he's San Diego County. So, Jerrick's Kansas. But, where is he? Yeah. And, he's from Wichita, I believe. But anyway, he did a vlog with this vlogger, and she says, for the Saints, well, is it true? The rumor is here that you still have never been trying to 40? It's true. So how is that even possible? Could be the fastest guy in the NFL. I'm an old gambler from the old days. I haven't since I, got cancer, but I'll throw my money down that he is. He's going to have a giant year this year, because if this coach doesn't play him every freaking down, these fans are going to run him out of town so fast. So I just wanted to put this up for Jerrick, and I'm going to send this to Jerrick. Jerrick's mom, right here, I was talking to her one time, and And, you know, I says, I'm in these scouts' ears constantly. It's the same old thing. Too short, too short. The people on this university, the coaching staff, the freaking people that support the athlete, that's what they would tell me. I'm like, you're fucking full of shit. I mean, the people that should have been promoting him. Oh, he's too short. What? These are his own coaches. His own thing. I'm like, are you out of your mind? This guy will destroy it in the NBA. He's a 40-point a game guy. He's MVP type stuff. He's unstoppable. He's like none I've ever seen. Switches hands, cuts through. I mean, what he could do, you watch these highlights. I'll post them. He'll blow your mind. You know, and same with Rashid. I mean, I'm up here and I'm like, what are you talking? This guy is fucking NFL superstar. Are you blind? Are you blind? I would tell these freaking scouts. Play back the tape. I'm all over the internet with them both. You know, I promoted the shit out of them both. I'm the only one. No local media. No, nobody did. I did. You know, so I need one of those red 3s from Spain. Hopefully they don't have their uniforms made in. I told Damien right there to his face. Aren't those little childhood slaves in those bunkers making your Nike contract gear? Because he's like the biggest seller. Aren't their fingers getting a little sore? Because I says, you know, he's got a boy-girl. I'm a boy-girl twin, you know, and I'm like, the whole sports merchandise thing is disturbing. Economics? No. Morality. Do you have none? I've been over there. I've been in East Bangladesh. I've been in China. I've seen the conditions where these things are made. It's shirtwaist fire. I mean, I used to do my event at the shirtwaist fire every year. I was in the hospital recovering from open heart surgery. By the way, we got very little runoff this afternoon because it's sunny as it is. It's cold, and everybody's got a giant smile on their face, but it's going to warm up fast, and we're going to flood. So I want to get this up for you Weber State fans, the few of us that pay attention, and, you know, next year, when I'm healthy and sound, I'm going to go to Europe, and I'm going to make sure I get to Spain to watch him play. You know, thank you to Joel. Oh, boy. Love that guy. Jeremy Siegler. Love him. I mean, the players we have here can't win. And another thing I need to address is people are talking about the ball. Okay? That's the NCAA's bullshit. I've been screaming about that ball change for the last couple years. It's total bullshit. You know, there's 2 different balls in college basketball now. The one they're using in the NCAA tournament and the one these players with is different. There's a different grip on it. So it's bullshit. It's just like in Europe, you know, the ball's different. Has more sections. You don't think that makes a difference? It makes a difference. I mean, the nuance in basketball, you're dropping down a 30-footer. The nuances, the muscle memory is like this. You know, so here these guys play all year with one ball. Then they switch to the other. And no wonder the tournament sucked this year. And the good teams lose. I mean, the NCAA tournament was horrible this year. It was pathetic, actually. And so, anyway, I wanted to get this for Jerrick. I'm going to write a book on Jerrick Harding and Rashid Shaheed. They were on this campus at the same time. I was friends with them both. I did the play-by-play, everything. And when Kevin Blanch, I've been here since the 60s, says, you're the best basketball player in the history of this school, you're the best football player in this school, then you're the best in the fucking history. I'm telling you. You know, Rashid Shaheed passed. He's the most talented. The great Trevon Smith. Trevon Smith was the greatest player ever played here. Oh, he was beat to death in a jail cell. Fuck, they don't even mention his name up here. How about Wat Masaka, the first player of color in the history of the NBA? Where's his fucking number? Born and raised in Ogden. They don't mention his fucking name. So, go Rashid, man. I got your back. You know, I got every, you know, he knows I always had his back. Jerrick, too. I used to tell Jerrick all the time, whatever. Anything you need from us as far as me, you know, whatever, I got your back. And this is when I'm full cancer. I got no money. I don't care. The same Rashid. I says, anything, you know, whatever you need me, this, that, I got your back as far as promoting them as the student athlete. And they're the 2 greatest players in the history. That's saying a fucking lot up here. I'm telling you. Especially this deep, rich basketball history was. Great Eddie Gill. Look at Harold Arsenault, the show. I got to tell you the story about Harold Arsenault. I was talking to Joel yesterday about Harold Arsenault. I worked for Coach Ogden. And by the way, Eddie Gill, I wish he was the coach here. Him or Jimmy Graffiti. Harold Arsenault, the show. The NBA scouts are all over him. Well, you need to do this. This is senior year. I'm standing right there. So is Joe. And he's like, what makes you think I want to play in the NBA? Because I don't. Joe says, all the years I've never heard it. I says, me neither. And the scout about had a seizure. I loved it. I loved it. You know, so I advise these players, all of them, they'll know me. I tell them the same thing. You get the big offer in Europe, you get the hell out of here. You'll love the lifestyle. You'll love the style of basketball. You'll love everything. And you'll make plenty of money and you'll be happy. I'm sure he's happy as a lark. You know, Spain's a gem. And by the way, thank you in Spain. I love you. As far as the EU tax economy that's going on as far as nuclear energy, the nuclear house they built, Spain told them no nuclear energy, none. Spain's like, oh, I'll tell you, go to Spain, start bringing up your nuclear energy SMR rhetoric over there. Like they play basketball over there. You don't get open looks there, I bet. You know, it's like Big Sky basketball here. You know, I tell everybody, you don't watch the real football games, you come to the basketball court in Big Sky. Same over there. So you put up 41 in a playoff game there, it's not the NBA. It's like putting up 90. I mean, you don't get open looks. I mean, what he's doing, he's incredible. And how the fuck is he not in the NBA? So I homemade made this one. I made this, well, I bought an old, retro, beautiful, it's a made in the U.S. It's a gem, man. And then that's Rashid's number. It's on Saints uniform. So hopefully they're not made in Spain by, because they're not in Austria. Austria makes all their own stuff. Same in Italy. You know, so my guess is those uniforms are made in Spain. I want one, Jerrick. I want one. So anyway, thrilled watching him. I've been watching these games. Oh my God, you know what I can find online on my phone. You know, but wow. Rashid will have a breakout year this year, big time. Well, he did last year when he got in. By the way, you know my favorite colors are white and blue. My favorite combination, because I grew up here. That's why. When these storms move through, it will take your breath away. These crystal blue skies with the white. We don't get them very often. This year, because it just storms, and it's, you know, the dirty and the smog and the filth. But when the storms move through, what a historic up. It will flood here soon, but I want to get this up. Long video, but it was an important video. Jerrick Hardy, Rashid Shaheed, on this campus at the same time. Two greatest players in the history of this school, and nobody's paying attention. Oh, I was. Stay tuned.